Okay, so you sent over some really interesting stuff this week, right at the top. This huge new broadcast deal for the NHL in Canada.
Yeah, it's pretty massive. We're looking at a 12-year agreement. The number they're throwing around is $11 billion Canadian.
11 billion. Wow.
I know.
That's a serious figure.
It really is. And the key thing here is this deal with Sportsnet. It gives them exclusive national broadcasting rights for, well, pretty much everything NHL.
Everything, like all the games.
Yep, all the games. Across every platform you can think of, TV, digital, streaming, and importantly, in all languages.
Okay.
It covers the regular season, naturally, but also the entire Stanley Cup playoffs, plus all those like special events, the All-Star game, things like that, the whole package.
Right, the whole shebang. And when does this actually start? It's not immediate, is it?
No, it kicks in starting with the 2026-27 NHL season. It's a little ways off, but it sets the stage for a long time.
12 years is a long time in media. But here's the bit that really jumped out at me from the sources, the scale compared to the last deal. This new one is apparently more than double the annual value.
That's right. More than double. It's a significant jump.
What does that even, what does that kind of increase tell us? Doubling down like that?
It strongly suggests a really robust belief from Rogers in the, continued popularity and maybe even the growth potential of NHL hockey here in Canada.
Right.
They're clearly banking on strong viewership, strong engagement for the next decade plus. That's what lets them justify such a huge investment.
Makes sense. They must see a lot of upside, maybe new ways to deliver it too.
Exactly. It opens doors for innovation, how they reach fans, maybe integrating different platforms more seamlessly. Lots of potential there.
Okay, so an $11 billion announcement. You'd figure that's the headline, that's all anyone's talking about.
I would think so, yeah.
But here's the twist. The actual press conference, Commissioner Bettman, the Rogers executives, it sort of got overshadowed.
Overshadowed? How does an $11 billion deal get overshadowed? What happened?
Well, it was the host of the presser itself, Ron MacLean. Apparently, he started trending online more than the, groundbreaking deal itself.
Ron MacLean? Huh. Interesting. He's been around forever, of course, but trending more than the deal.
Yeah. And it wasn't exactly positive trending, from what the sources indicated.
Yeah.
A lot of fans on social media were, well, let's just say they weren't thrilled about him hosting, or his continued presence, it seems. The term used was ruthless for some of the comments.
Ruthless. That's strong. Thinking back, this kind of negativity, or at least a more vocal negativity, really seemed to ramp up after the whole Don Cherry situation, didn't it?
Exactly. That seems to be the connection a lot of people are making. The sources definitely point to a shift in fan perception around that time regarding MacLean.
Right.
And it wasn't just grumbling. The reports mentioned fans actively, begging online for the NHL and Sportsnet to replace him, even before this new 12-year deal starts.
Begging. Wow. That's intense. It really shows how fans get attached or maybe unattached to the personalities, doesn't it?
Yeah, they're part of the viewing experience.
They really are. It's not just about the game stats. It's the whole ritual, the familiar faces.
Yeah.
And when that relationship changes or sours, yeah, you see passionate reactions.
And yet, the fact that MacLean was the one hosting this huge announcement, the kickoff for this massive long-term deal, it sends a pretty strong signal, doesn't it?
It certainly suggests he's likely sticking around, despite the online noise.
Seems that way. For those fans hoping for a change, this probably wasn't the news they wanted to see tied to the deal. It implies he's part of the long-term picture.
So it's quite the juxtaposition. You've got this enormous decade-plus financial commitment shaping Canadian hockey broadcasting.
Right. Billions on the line.
And a huge chunk of the immediate reaction is focused squarely on the guy who delivered the news.
It's fascinating, isn't it? The money versus the messenger. Makes you think.
It really does. It puts the spotlight on that whole complex interplay. The broadcasters, the fan sentiment, which is so amplified now, and these giant media contracts. What does this whole situation kind of tell us about where sports media is heading and maybe the power fans feel they have now? Something to chew on.